So for you Pisces, you have the Hanged Man, the Strength, and the Two of Swords. So overall in this reading, I'm getting that a lot of you want to date. That's the first thing that you Pisces actually want to do. But you understand that there's a bigger picture. And you Pisces are not necessarily going to date, even though that may be the first thing that you may want to do. The Hanged Man is Pisces. So you showed up first card, okay? But you're showing or exhibiting patience, right? You understand that things may not necessarily go as well for you if you were to try to get to know somebody else. And not only that too, but you also sometimes need to take a cool off, right? It's not always to just be out here trying to get to know somebody or having people come up and talk to you. To the constant, the nonstop jumping from one person or trying to get to know one person from the other can actually frustrate you. That can actually be just as bad as people giving you a hard time and bringing in your baggage into a new relationship. That can be just as bad. Sometimes this is why, as I said, that sometimes you actually do need to take breaks. And everybody does, without exception. Because when you just jumping around and around and around, it can really frustrate you and can get you just as upset. So the Strength and the Two of Swords is about, so you are exhibiting patience, which is strength, because even though that may be what you want to do right now is to get to know other people and see, if there's anything out there for you. A lot of you Pisces may just be deciding to chill and not get to know another person, hang out by yourselves, be single for a while, and actually reflect, right? When you are single, take the time to become better so that later on in the future, when you do want to date, you actually can, okay? Because the worst thing in the world when it comes to dating is you're single and you don't actually learn anything. You don't get better with time. You have nothing to offer. You're just bouncing from one person to the next. This is why so many people be having emotional damage, right? So the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles is about that's one of the hardest things that some of you Pisces may have had to learn, but you have learned it. It's not jumping from person to person to person. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that, you're going from pillow to post per se. I'm saying that you don't, just because things may not necessarily work out with you, you going on to a whole other person soon after or immediately after. And a lot of you Pisces really are now thinking about, I should say, if this is enough time, is that adequate time to actually truly heal from the nonsense that you've been going through. And because of that, it gives you time to actually take care of yourself. Because like it is that I said before, we all need to be single because we're single way longer than we're actually in a relationship, if you realize it. The vast majority of us are not twins. So we're born single, really. And the thing about it is that until we get our first whatever, we're single, right? When we're not in relationships, we're single. When we're talking to people and there's nothing established, we're single. So the thing is that we are actually single, right? Statistically, way longer than we are in a relationship. And people forget about this. They're always trying to make it seem like they're talking to somebody. This is why it is that I said it's time for people to get real, because that whole ideology of when I'm talking to somebody, yeah, that's also creating more damage too. Then you have the Nine of Cups, which represents, even if the Nine of Cups and the Three of Cups and the Lovers represents, even if you Pisces do get, people that are trying to tempt you, that want you around, that want to hang out with you, the best thing for you Pisces to do is to be like the Lovers and to still look in the mirror and actually ask yourself if this is something that you are truly going to put your heart into. And if you're not going to, then don't try to get to know these people like that, because it's too soon for you. You know, when I go through, personally, when I went through my last, I guess, interaction with this person or whatnot, I told this person, you know, I didn't necessarily want to go out with them like that, because it's not that I didn't like them, but because, you know, I didn't want to necessarily get my heart broken, and I don't necessarily want to break their heart. And they tried to get me in a relationship, and they did the switcheroo. This is back in like 2016. Now all of a sudden, after all of this guilting and cajoling and, why don't you be in a relationship with me? Why not? Now all of a sudden, now they start flipping the script. So guess what happened? So after that, I tried to jump into a new relationship soon afterwards, and it wasn't time. This was also late. No, this was also early 2016. And guess what? Since 2000 and not late 2016, early 2017, and since 2017, early 2017, I haven't really been with anybody for a long period of time since, because it's like a lot of people, like I said before, a lot of people out here be playing games. It's like, what exactly was the point of you doing that stupid stuff in the first place? I specifically told you this not to mess with you, but I specifically told you this not to essentially break your heart. And here it is that you go being on some stuff. You did all this you did all this nonsense just so that you could end up posing as an enemy to me. Makes absolutely no sense. So what I'm trying to say is that, so for you, Pisces, if this is not something that you ultimately want, don't try to force it. Don't try to, just do what it is that you want to do, truly, you know? And again, the Lovers, very significant in this reading. Ask yourself for real if this is something that you want. You know what I mean? Like, stop feeling guilty per se, and stop looking for an excuse to hang out with people or whatnot, you know, all the time. If you don't want to hang out with the person, then don't. Then the Nine of Wands and the Page of Wands, the Nine of Wands and the Page of Wands is about how you, Pisces, are supposed to be doing what it is that you want to do, but be honest with yourself. You know, I didn't necessarily want to, you know, date or whatever, or whatever, because I just let time heal that, you know. But also, I just figured, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and build on the things that I need to build on for myself. And it's not about being self-centered. It was about striving to be better. But for me, it was also about, this is why it is that a Virgo can't be in love, because people be working their hardest to play games and waste time intentionally. And it essentially solves nothing. So it's just nihilism. It's just stupid at the end of the day. So that's why I took mine. Now you have to understand, if you are going to take one, why would you take a break from dating? And if these people that may be paying you some attention, are you interested in them, and are you interested in getting to know them? If you are not going to take a longer break than what you have already had, right? Would you be built for a potential relationship or a relationship? Would you be built for that? Because that's what it's supposed to be building up to. So let's clarify the Page of Wands. Page of Swords, Five of Swords, right, Six of Swords, the Empress. Once again, you have to ask yourself, is your heart open to actually be in a relationship where you have to give and trust the person, as well as they have to trust you? Can you be trusted? Would you trust you? And if the answer to that is honestly no, then obviously shouldn't be in a relationship. You shouldn't get to know anybody right now. You should take a longer break, as long as you need. And the Page and the Empress is about, and once again, no matter who it is. Don't let anybody, no matter who it is, get you to now change your decision if you want to go on a break, or if you want to get to know some people who may have been showing you interest. Really give them a fair chance. Really give yourself, first and foremost, an opportunity and a fair chance. Because sometimes, too, what sabotages us is the fact that we don't allow ourselves to give ourselves personally, ourselves, as an individual, us ourselves, to be given a chance. We striving to be perfect, and everything has to be all figured out. And it's like, that's not reality. Nothing in nature is 100% figured out. And anytime somebody tells you that, no matter what profession they're in, they are looking at you in the eyes and they are lying to you. Because nature in on itself, like trees and rainforests and how things of itself, just because that sun comes up day in and day out does not necessarily mean that that sun will always come up forever and ever for eternity. Just think about that.